Mu7 has ordered that Namboze be picked up, beaten really, really badly, and to a place of disability.
Awo tugenda okubanga tutandika essawa ya kakati ebya Namboze byo bibi ddala wenjogerera amajje drone ne poliisi byamusazeko dda wali mu makage mukono omukazi mumuwulidde oyo n'omukazi w'amaanyi nnyo era activist mulamba amanyikiddwa nga Lady Winnie Alisoni fena tumumanyi mu kugaba bwino abagenda maaso mu ggwanga katambi kona nkakuleetedde njagala obenga omwewulirira koko owulire security alert ne bwino jamujja agambye mbu Namboze honorable agenda kubanga atwalibwa essawa yonna mu basement sagala mbenga nkulwisa kansoke nkwewereko omukyalo osooke obenga omuwuliriza owulirize kiki ekyakuleetedde olunaku olwaleero naddala gwe omwana w'enkyukakyuka yena ali eyo kale sooka owuliriza ono mukazi then ate male nkuwe ate ebiri ku saidi ya General Otafire kooteese ne mwami Muhoozi.
Mu7 has ordered that Namboze be picked up, beaten really, really badly, and to a place of disability, so that Mrs. Betty Namboze is no longer able to walk. So they said by Friday, as I speak, sometimes when I say certain things, they will change this and that or the other, but know that their intention when they capture somebody like Sara Virete, like Miriam Matembe, that they're edging for the valuable opposition because they don't want anybody to speak. They basically want to turn Uganda into a North Korea type of arrangement where nobody speaks. All media houses get their news from State House, which is biased, obviously, which is the house, the brain of human rights violations in Uganda. That is the intention of what they're doing. The closure of Monitor and the other two media houses, NTV. The purpose of doing that is to be able to stifle honest opinions of Ugandans. But people like Dr. Miriam Matembe and the rest, what Mu7 and Muhoozi don't realize is that some of us and the rest who are speaking up or speak are even more empowered, because with the arrest of Miriam Matembe, so much else went out. So much media went all over the world. Miriam Matembe is not a simple person. And I'm not saying anybody's life is less of a value, but Miriam Matembe has been and shaken the rest of the world by her arrest and her being treated like Muhoozi did. Same thing that happened with Dr. Miss Sara Virete. Same thing. As much as they feel like they're stifling Ugandans, they are breeding a lot of other support for Ugandans.
Weewaawo nga tetunaba kubanga tweyongerayo mu katambi aka General Otafire mbadde nkusaba tanaba kubanga subscribing akadde gakwate mu kaje personalize obenga okateekamu all video gyempere like ku speed y'amangu nnyo ebenga etambulira ddala etuuka ku buli Munnayuganda naddala abaana b'enkyukakyuka bonna abali General Otafire atabukidde General Muhoozi ne taata we amanyikiddwa nga President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni agamba ebikolwa bye bali mukola bigenda kubanga bizza Uganda emabega emyaka nga 10 gye baali balwaniridde mu nsiko ate bagenda kubanga biddamu buto byatandiyagedde kubanga bigenda maaso. Njagala omuwulirize bulungi nnyo osobola okubanga omugyamu amakulu mu comment section nyongeza okujjukiza endowoozayo kintu kikulu nnyo naddala mu kuzimba channel eno kwetadde n'okuzza Uganda mu maaso. N'olwekyo sagala mbe nga nsukkawo wano kansoke nkwewere omukulu General Otafire Kayinda.
History will be harsh on us. History will judge us. History will not absolve us if we don't look after our environment and then lead by example and be able to tell everybody else, let's correct the environment. Let's put back what God gave us for free. This rain you get for free. The other day I was telling people, I think I was in Mbali, and I said, poor people will not go to heaven. They said, hey, you man, you committed sacrifice. I said, you want to go to heaven. When you are poor, you want to go to heaven. Do you know why? Because when a poor man wakes up in the morning, first thing they do is curse God. God, oh God, why did you make me poor? Why is everybody else better than me? God gave you a head and brain for free. He gave you hands for free. He gave you legs for free. He gave you energy for free. He gave you land for free. He gives you rain for free. Then you curse God for not giving you money. God gave you the attributes of making money. That's why he has not come here to set up a business. God has no business. He has not looked for a job. He doesn't earn a salary, so he can't give you money because he doesn't make money. But he has given you assets for making money. So stop blaming God for your poverty. You are poor because, well, unless the circumstances are such that, you are physically incapable or you are living in the desert. But in Uganda here, you are poor because, because there is no money, but because the poverty is, it's not in the pocket, it's, yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, those of you who participated in the competition and the exercise, I want to express my humble but sincere thank you. And the organizers, I want to say in Luganda, tusima bwongerwa. Now, wanakankwasa. For those of you who allowed people to invade our swamps and what, I'm giving blanket amnesty. But from now on, anybody going into the wetlands and damaging nature, we shall deal with. And those allowing them to do so, we shall deal with. Because when you make your application to work for the environment departments, don't you say I'm going to preserve the environment? So why do you tell us lies? We hire you so that you protect the environment. Now, when you fail to protect the environment, why should we keep you? I'm going after those who are damaging the environment and those who allow them to damage the environment. Amnesty ends today. So when I can tell everybody that I'm not going to punish you for yesterday's sins because I wasn't there, but the sins you commit under my watch, we shall see. Because I don't want history to say he came, he saw, he was negligent. I want to be judged fairly and squarely by history for a contribution I have consciously made towards improving the quality of life of our people in Uganda and the African peoples. I have always told people I'm not a Ugandan, I'm an African. I'm an African from the East African region of Africa and the African district of Uganda. I see people say, oh, me, I'm a Mujisu, me, I'm a Muchiga. So what? The Mujisu, other than eating Malewa and dancing here, what can they do on their own? They were Chiga, other than climbing the hills of Kigezi and degrading the hills. The hills have been exhausted. They have dug the hills till the soil, and the hills are now exhausted. And the Wachiga are now coming down from the hills and claiming the swamps. Kawasa tells those Wachiga to get out of our swamps. Those swamps were put there for a purpose, not for the Wachiga to damage. As far as the Wajisu, they have learned their lesson. You tampered with Mount Elgon, and you saw the consequences. Now, once bitten, twice shy. As you know, the mountain came down on them. Then I went back. When I went back, I said, you people who have remained here, get out of here before God gets the news. They said, oh, this man is a witch. And indeed, when I left, the mountain came down. Now, why did the mountain come down? That mountain has been there since eternity without coming down. But mankind decided to get wiser than God, go up the mountain, cut the trees, remove the tree roots, grow food, which they never ate, because they interfered with the nature, and nature revenged by coming down on them. Now, if we don't seriously take environmental concerns into consideration for our generation and the next generation, the damage we do today is a result of selfishness. We want to prosper at the expense of the children of our children. If our forefathers, our forebearers had damaged the environment, would we be here? No, we wouldn't. It's only imperative that this generation and the next generation preserves the environment for purposes of the future. If we don't want to do that, then we should stop producing. We should cease procreation and say we are selfish. It's we and us alone, and hell with the future. But for as long as we have children and the children of their children, we have an obligation to ensure that we preserve this environment. Unfortunately, the African peoples are not the worst polluters. Our contribution to environmental damage is minuscule. The scientists know the percentage. We are being asked to preserve the environment when we are not the polluters. We are being told to grow trees